All right, guys, back with another video. Forgot to record any type of intro into this one. I was on my way from work, and I was going to record something in the car, and then just completely forgot. Was just zoned out. So this is my push A session. I think the last time I showed a push session was my push B session. So this one has less arms than the other one and a little bit more chest. Still, overall, the approach is super simple as with my entire programming. So first exercise in is going to be flat Smith press, and this is going to be 3 sets in the 8 to 12 rep range. Now, I can't remember any of the reps that I got in any of these sets. I'd have to go reference my logbook, but I do remember this being a pretty solid session for me. Compared to my last session, I was talking about how I didn't like the angle of the Smith press. I still don't like the angle of the Smith press. However, I did flip it around this time to see if that felt any better. It felt a little bit better just because when I unrack it this way, I'm unracking it backwards, where when I have the seat flip the other way, I'm re-racking it forward, which is super awkward. This is a little bit less awkward, but it still gets my wrist in like not a good position. You can see right there, I'm having to reposition my wrist as I unrack it, which that really puts a lot of pressure on my wrist actually with this poundage on there. And because I'm adjusting my wrist one by one, it's like one wrist takes all the weight. So I try to do it as fast as I can so I don't run into any issues. One thing I want to point out here is with pressing, you see how at the bottom, my forearm is stacked directly over my elbow and directly over my wrist. So when you're pressing, that's what you want to look for, especially if you're doing some type of barbell movement. You want to have those joints stacked right over each other because that's going to put you in the most powerful position possible. Something I see very often is a grip that is too close. So like if you imagine my hands here, if they were, say an inch closer together, what that's going to do is create an angle within your forearm, your wrist, your elbow, and it's also going to make it a way more tricep dominant press. So you're going to be getting less, like you might be able to move more weight that way because you're making it a more tricep dominant press, but you're not going to get more chest out of it. And most people are bench pressing to get chest. Now, if you're specifically doing a close grip bench press, obviously that is for triceps. But if that is not your goal, do make sure that you record your sets so that you can see things like that. Because if you don't record your sets, you're not going to be able to tell what you're doing wrong. So that's one of the huge training revolutions I think that has happened since phones and recording became the norm. Back when I first started working out, nobody recorded their sets, so you just had to rely on either the mirror or somebody telling you that you were doing something wrong. Whereas now you can review that training footage instantaneously and fix whatever is off about your exercises. And you don't have to post it to social media or anything like that. I think a lot of people are under the impression that if you're recording, you have to post it on social media. It's like, no, you can use it as a tool to improve your bodybuilding or especially your powerlifting. After the 3 sets of 8 to 12 on the Smith press, came over here to incline barbell, which is another new movement that I have in here. So I'm learning how to do this. I've never done incline barbell in all 12 years. I think it's 12 years that I've been working out. I've never done an incline barbell press. Just always hated them because I would do it on not a bench that I could bring up. So I would always do it on the incline benches that are, made for incline, if you want to call it that. But the angle on those is so steep, it would just destroy my shoulder. So I never did incline presses, at least with the barbell. I would always use dumbbells or some type of machine. And realistically, I didn't really do that much incline pressing ever. So as you can see, my incline strength is terrible. I'm getting used to it though, and planning to run those numbers up relatively decently, hopefully. But either way, I am liking the movement. It's nice to do something that I've never done before, especially this many years into the gym. There's almost nothing like that that exists for me, so it's fun. And on the incline, that was 3 sets of 8 to 12. My top set, I did 225, and then my next 2 sets were at 185. After that, come into flies. I talked about these in my last push video, but this is my preferred method of doing flies. This is 3 sets in the 12 to 20 rep range. I really try to concentrate on just controlling the weight throughout the entire range of motion, making sure that I'm getting a good stretch down in the bottom position to really stretch out the chest, and making sure that I'm fully contracting in the finished position. It's very straightforward, but it's definitely the flies that I enjoy the most over pec deck, which I again explained in the last video. After that, I come over to, God, what are these? Side laterals, unilateral side laterals. And this is 4 sets in the 10 to 15 rep range. Now, I've been progressing this relatively well, so I've been overshooting my rep range on a few sets. And that's mostly because the elbow issues that I've been dealing with in the past are subsiding now. One of the things that I did to really help that out was improve my grip strength. So it was mainly my left elbow. My right elbow always seemed fine. My left elbow would always flare up though. And I've been doing grip strength training exercises with my left hand, and it's really been improving that. And the reason that I did that was because I noticed my left hand, the grip strength was dismal in comparison to my right. The tool that I used for the grip strength or whatever, it's like a squeezing tool. I did 15 reps, I think, on my right hand, like super easy. And on my left hand, I think I did 3 or 4, and I was like struggling. So that right there told me, wow, I have some things to work on here. So that's been improving my elbow for sure. And then also the removal of a couple exercises. So we removed the hammer strength incline press, which is super hard in the lockout, so it would always beat up my elbows. And then we removed flat dumbbell press, which again was beating up my elbows because of the grip strength required. So I'm doing 130-pound dumbbells, and the grip strength to balance those while you are pressing is like beyond the grip strength that I have. I can easily press the dumbbells. I just can't hold the dumbbells. So grip strength is definitely something I need to work on. But yeah, that seems to be alleviating the elbow issue, which is really nice. So anybody else who has elbow issues, if you do notice a huge discrepancy in your grip strength, that could be a reason why you're dealing with some elbow issues. After the side laterals, went over to tricep press downs. This is 3 sets, 12 to 20, and this is the last exercise. So that's it. I have 5 exercises total on this day. Again, super straightforward, very simple, because that's all you need for bodybuilding. It doesn't have to get complicated. You just need to pick movements that work well for you. You don't even need a lot of them, and you just need to progress them slowly over time. So overall, this was a super solid workout for me. Yeah, not much else to say about it. So if you guys made it this far, as always, I appreciate it. Thank you for the support, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.